for the casters who are casting those matches.
Yeah, well, it's like the atmosphere in the arena in general. I think it's going to be even crazier than last year. Supposedly, the setup this year is going to be amazing. But
And all 16 teams will be there.
all 16 teams will be there.
That is also true.
And yeah, the matches just mean more. I don't think, if you're a player going into the series, I think a very healthy approach is to not think, or maybe it's inevitable, at least for some teams, that you think a lot about the money in the first matchup. If you get to the winners bracket, a team like Complexity, who wants to prove everyone wrong, at the same time, they might have had it in the back of their minds going into this that they're definitely not one of their favorites. They said they're the underdogs as well going into the tournament. They've been doing great. It's probably hard for them to put it in the back of their minds. But once you're in that top 6, I think, like, when the money is so big, it's not really about the money anymore. Like, you're playing for the sake of the competition and for pushing yourself as far as you can and getting the best possible result. Like, of course, it's incredible winning the whole thing, right? But it's already so much money when you're in the top 6 that's definitely the biggest step. It's basically secured your entire year, right?
That is,
if you get a top 6 placement. Then everything else the whole year, anything that's happened doesn't really matter.
Majors.
So
you never know. I mean, that could help secure your spot for that next major to get that auto invite.
That's
very true.
And I can't help but just think the reason why everyone's just going to be so into it is, we're there to celebrate this game.
Yeah,
see how big it's gotten, and you can see just win that first match. That was TI 1 and 2, that first best of 3 where they're playing for that $1 million.
I think the important thing is more so than for the players, for the audience, just to see that that's where we are now, and that's the gravity, but also the excitement of those matches, and that's where TI is. And TI 5, that's how just big every match is, and that's how great every team is here. But as we were chatting away, we are now in the draft for Game 1 between CDEC and EG. So again, pretty important match for EG. They want to take at least one map to make sure they stay on the top side of the upper bracket.
Look, what aggressive god.
It's a good
I'm surprised. I was really confident going into this that would be EG's targeted ban this team. And they didn't.
Maybe they have that ace, man. Maybe they are baiting it out so they have the answer for Gyro.
I don't know what that is.
We've talked a lot about EG preparing for CDEC, but we haven't talked too much about the opposite side, playing from CDEC, just because we're a little bit more unfamiliar with CDEC. But as always versus Evil Geniuses, I think the Naga Saturn ban is almost imperative. And if you don't have first pick, then Leshrek's a fine ban. But CDEC has first pick.
They passed on Shadow Fiend as well. Is it just something that Sumail doesn't want to really do? And Queen of Pain.
It's just they like their options open. Shadow Fiend is strong, but he's a much different flavor than a lot of the common mids. Like, remember when this time last year, EG actually ran DK a lot in the mid lane and actually just pushed very, very early, which is unusual for their strategy now, but a year ago it was super common, and they actually won games in 20-25 minutes. Times have changed, but DK is still a very viable pick, and I think Shadow Fiend somewhat limits